It's Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, and I'm Dave Sopel. 4 things to know today. Cloud power is concentrating. AWS, Azure, and Google now own 71% of the market, with AI spending set to hit $700 billion. Researchers expose a Gemini AI flaw that could hijack smart devices via calendar invites. GPT-5's underwhelming launch sparks backlash, while workplace AI adoption still lags, driving a talent churn. And Intel's CEO flips from political target to praised leader after visiting the White House. This is the business of tech. Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud continue to dominate the infrastructure as a service market, capturing nearly 71% of the market share last year. According to a report from Gartner, the global infrastructure services market grew by 22.5% year over year, reaching approximately $171.8 billion in 2024, driven by the increasing adoption of generative artificial intelligence. AWS held the largest share of the market at nearly 38%, followed by Microsoft Azure at 24% and Google Cloud at 9%. Gartner anticipates that global cloud spending will exceed $700 billion in 2025, with the infrastructure services market alone expected to expand by 25% to over $210 billion. Brian Merchant in Blood in the Machine argues that AI is propping up the U.S. economy, for now. He outlines the significant impact of the artificial intelligence boom on the U.S. economy, with Microsoft recently reaching a $4 trillion valuation, becoming the second company after NVIDIA to achieve the milestone. This surge in valuation is attributed to historic level of investment in AI infrastructure, which has reportedly contributed more to economic growth in the past 6 months than all consumer spending combined, according to Neil Dutta, head of economic research at Renaissance Macro Research. The New York Times covered AI's impact on the hiring market for college graduates. Recent computer science graduates are facing significant challenges in securing job placements within the tech industry. Mansa Mishra, a graduate from Purdue University, exemplifies this struggle as she recounts her year-long job hunt that ended without a single job offer despite her degree and coding experience. Tech giants such as Amazon and Microsoft are increasingly laying off employees while simultaneously adopting AI coding tools, resulting in fewer job opportunities for new graduates. The article highlights a shift in the job market where traditional pathways to tech careers are becoming less reliable, leaving graduates like Mishra questioning the once promised lucrative job landscape of the technology sector. And a recent analysis by Goldman Sachs confirms it. The employment share for tech jobs in the U.S. peaked in November 2022, coinciding with the launch of ChatGPT, but has since been on a decline. The unemployment rate for workers aged 20 to 30 in tech has surged nearly 3 percentage points since early 2024, which is over 4 times the increase in the overall jobless rate. Goldman Sachs chief economist Jean Hatsus estimates that AI could replace 6 to 7% of all U.S. jobs within the next decade, though he projects that overall unemployment rate will only rise by a manageable 0.5% as displaced workers transition to other industries. And this data from JP Morgan highlights the potential impact of AI on the job market, particularly for white-collar knowledge workers. Economist Murat Taski warns that as AI becomes more integrated into the economy, these workers could face a jobless recovery, where unemployment rates remain elevated despite overall economic growth. Currently, white-collar workers represent approximately 45% of total household employment in the United States. Although the overall unemployment rate is low at around 4.2%, Toski notes that job pressures on these employees could increase over time due to the ongoing decline in routine jobs, which have seen their share of the workforce drop from 55% to 40% over the past 4 decades. This trend suggests that the labor market may be on the verge of significant shifts, particularly affecting entry-level positions. Why do we care? The big 3 cloud players, AWS, Azure, Google, now control 71% of the market. AWS alone, almost 38%. And AI is the rocket fuel here, pushing cloud spending towards $700 billion next year and making Microsoft a $4 trillion company. And with that much concentration for the U.S. economy in AI, our analysis of the overall health of the market may be clouded by these few companies. And here's the flip side. And here's the flip side. While AI is great for cloud providers, it's killing off entry-level tech jobs. New grads are getting frozen out. Tech unemployment for young workers is climbing fast, and economists are warning about a jobless recovery for white-collar roles. For providers, this means two things. You're more dependent than ever on a few cloud giants, and your future talent pool is being disrupted. The smart play: get ahead on AI cost control for clients, diversify your vendor expertise, and start thinking now about where your next generation of tech talent is coming from, because it won't be the same path it used to be. Support for the show comes from ScalePad. Ever feel like you're doing all the work, but no one sees it? That's the reality for a lot of MSPs. You're putting out fires, chasing spreadsheets, juggling client requests. But when it's time to show value, crickets. That's where ScalePad comes in. Trusted by over 10,000 MSPs, ScalePad solutions help you turn invisible effort into visible impact, pulling together the tools you already use, from reporting, quoting, compliance, and asset planning, into one easy platform. So instead of chasing details, you're leading smarter conversations. Because doing great work is one thing, getting credit for it, that's where the real business growth happens. ScalePad helps you show value, build client trust, and lead with confidence. Learn more at scalepad.com/Dave. Researchers have revealed alarming vulnerabilities in Google's Gemini AI assistant that could allow attackers to hijack smart devices through manipulated Google Calendar invitations. At the recent Black Hat USA Cybersecurity Conference, a group outlined 14 methods of prompt injection attacks that can exploit large language models, including a startling example where attackers took control of internet-connected appliances, potentially endangering users. These attacks begin with seemingly innocuous calendar invites that contain hidden commands, bypassing AI safety protocols. The implications are significant as large language models are increasingly integrated into everyday applications. Google was informed of these vulnerabilities and has addressed them, but the risks escalate as AI agents gain more control over various platforms and tasks in users' lives. Why do we care? Here's one to keep you up at night. Researchers showed you could hijack a smart device just by sending the right Google Calendar invite. Gemini AI reads it, hidden commands slip through, and suddenly your smart coffee maker's in enemy hands. Google's fixed this one, but it's a taste of what's coming. AI agents are getting the keys to more and more systems, and if they can be tricked, so can you. For providers, it's not a wait-and-see moment. Lock down what those AIs can actually do, limit permissions, audit integrations, and start training users to spot AI-driven phishing before it lands. This release backlash is lingering. The recent launch of GPT-5 by OpenAI has met with significant disappointment, as many users claim the model fails to live up to the high expectations set by its predecessors. Following its release, a petition was initiated by 3,000 individuals seeking to revert to the previous model, highlighting widespread dissatisfaction. According to a poll by Polymarket, OpenAI's perceived leadership in artificial intelligence dropped dramatically from 75% to just 14% within an hour of GPT-5's debut, with many users expressing frustration over its performance, which lacks substantial improvements compared to earlier versions. Critics argue that despite the hype, GPT-5 remains an incremental upgrade rather than a revolutionary advancement in AI technology. I also noted this in Forbes. GPT-5 is causing a crisis among employees as they find themselves equipped with advanced artificial intelligence tools at home while still facing outdated technology in the workplace. With nearly 10% of the global population now using reasoning AI, the productivity gap between personal and corporate environments is becoming increasingly pronounced. Despite the launch of GPT-5, which has reached 700 million users, only 5 million are utilizing ChatGPT for Business, highlighting a disconnect that's pushing talent away from traditional companies toward those that empower their employees with modern technology. As knowledge workers experience the disparity between their sophisticated home tools and the bureaucratic hurdles at work, organizations are witnessing a decline in employee satisfaction and retention. Companies like BNY, California State University, and T-Mobile have successfully integrated AI into their operations, gaining measurable advantages in productivity and becoming attractive workplaces for top talent. Business leaders are urged to assess current AI usage, update policies to facilitate access to AI tools, and benchmark their capabilities against more tech-forward competitors to maintain their workforce. Why do we care? So GPT-5 drops and boom, the internet's not impressed. A petition's making the rounds to go back to GPT-4o, and OpenAI's AI leader rep tanks from 75% to 14% in an hour. The verdict from users feels more like GPT-4 point something than a game changer. But here's the part that matters. Forbes points out that while almost 10% of the planet now has reasoning AI at home, only a sliver use it at work. That's a problem. If employees see how much faster and smarter they can work at home, they're going to wonder why they're stuck in 2018 at the office, and some will walk. And that's where IT providers come in. Forget chasing the best model debate. Your play is closing that workplace AI gap, securely, compliantly, and in a way that actually helps people do their jobs better. That's not hype, that's retention and productivity your clients can measure. Well, this story didn't take long. Intel CEO Lip Bhutan has managed to mend relationships with President Donald Trump after previously facing calls for his resignation due to concerns over his ties to Chinese companies. In a recent meeting with Tan and key cabinet members, Trump praised Intel's CEO as a success following their meeting. During the discussion, Trump described the conversation as very interesting and indicated a potential shift in his stance regarding Tan's leadership. Intel has been awarded $8.5 billion in federal funding under the CHIPS Act to bolster domestic semiconductor manufacturing, yet concerns about its leadership and strategy do persist, particularly following Tan's controversial investment history with Chinese firms. Why do we care? Well, that didn't take long. Last week, Trump's blasting Intel CEO over ties to Chinese firms, and this week they meet, shake hands, and suddenly he's a success. This is after Intel pockets $8.5 billion from the CHIPS Act to build U.S. semiconductor capacity. Sure, it's all smiles now, but those leadership concerns didn't just disappear because of one meeting. For you, this is about supply chain risk. Politics moves fast. Hardware production doesn't. Keep a backup plan in your vendor strategy. Get ready. AI-driven project automation isn't the future. It's here today. Movila offers a fully integrated intelligent platform that combines real-time risk management and remediation, smart scheduling, resource capacity management, and AI-enhanced project coaching. By pulling in data from PSA, CRM, calendars, tickets, and time tracking tools, Movila continuously recalculates schedules, flags delays, identifies overbooked resources, and guides users through fix-it steps with templated and analytics to improve estimates over time. Businesses experience fewer cost overruns, up-to-date forecasting, smoother capacity planning, and more predictable on-time delivery, preserving margins and freeing teams to focus on the real work. Head to Movila.com, that's Moovila, to book a demo and see their AI-powered automation engine in action. Thanks for listening. It's National Gooey Butter Cake Day, National Julienne Fries Day, and International Youth Day. And on August 12, 1981, IBM released its first PC, the Model 5150. So happy IBM PC Day. We're looking for feedback on a newsletter offering. Visit bit.ly/biztechnewsletter, that's with a Z, with links in the show notes and description for 3 quick questions. The Business of Tech is written and produced by me, Dave Sobel, under ethics guidelines posted at businessof.tech. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure you've subscribed or followed on your favorite platform. It's free and helps directly. Give us a review, too. If you want to support the show, visit patreon.com/MSPRadio, and you'll get access to content early. Or buy our Why Do We Care merch at businessof.tech. Have a question you want answered? We take listener questions, send them in, ideally as a voice memo or video to question@mspradio.com. I answer listener questions live on our Wednesday live show on YouTube and LinkedIn. If you've got a comment or a thought on a story, put it in the comments if you're on YouTube, or reach out on LinkedIn if you're listening to the podcast. And if you want to advertise on the show, visit mspradio.com/engage. Once again, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you again on our next episode.
part of the MSP Radio Network.